All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for jumping in here on time. Everyone's jumping on. This is great. This is the storage meetup. We've been doing this for, oh my gosh, kind of started keeping track, year and a half, something like that. Every other Friday. And every once in a while we mix in the marketing meetups because that's always a good focus, doing those marketing ones as well. Again, if this is your first time here, welcome. This is very just a kind of free-flowing meetup. We always get a mix of owners and operators and vendors jumping on, and we just talk shop for an hour. Never quite know where the conversation may go. It's very free-flowing. So questions, comments, bring up to the group. I'll put something here in a second to put in chat to kind of get things moving here. But yeah, very, very, very kind of free-flowing conversation. And we always get about 50 or so people jumping on. So if you guys are here, that's awesome. Thank you. And if you get something out of it, invite someone next time and we'll keep this thing growing here. So like I said, no fancy background today. I'm down in Sedona, Arizona with my family. They're actually on the razor doing a hike somewhere. So I got priorities. I'm here. They're having fun. I'm here. No, this is fun though. I've done enough hiking and sweating my ass off in Sedona. I'm good. This is much.
Like this is the hot time of year to be in Sedona.
Is there a better time to be in Sedona? Isn't it always as freaking hot?
Spring. It's beautiful in spring or fall when the colors are changing.
Yeah.
I was actually just there in Sedona for 4 days back in February. It was absolutely gorgeous. Like during the day, it was nice and warm. Evenings, it was cool. Took some side-by-sides out on some of the trails around there. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of trails and stuff like that. Of course, I got the family, so we had to do the touristy thing and go. It's called like Slick Rock or Slide Rock, something like that. And you just sit on your butt and slide down the rocks and in the water. And of course, me being my graceful self, I got to the bottom and stood up, and I don't know what the technical term is, but I ate shit hard. Oh, I hurt my arm so bad. So I was like, the last 4 days, I like can't even move it, but it didn't break it. So I'm good. We're set there.
Sedona is also one of the best places in the world to go harping. And if you don't know what that is, it's at the nighttime. You go out and you go find all the critters because the majority of the critters are out during the night. So you can see like really cool like snakes and lizards and tarantulas, like all sorts of things. It's so cool. And they don't hurt you. It's fine. Just
When you said really cool, those two did not pair up.
I'm like, the scorpions. Is that where you live, love? Or are they just like conditioned you to think that that's okay?
I used to live out there, and my daughter, we're just natural born hippies, and we love everything. So we did that a lot actually. We used to play with the tarantulas all the time.
Yeah,
now have fun.
You get along with my daughter. She's in her element down here. She loves it. And except we're kind of like in this sort of resort type area. And last night we saw wild pigs walking around, weird cats, tarantulas.
Sorry.
The javelinas.
Yeah, they're javelinas.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, those are so cute when they have all the babies though, because the little babies are just little
babies.
Little,
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I call them bacon bits.
Bacon bits.
Although they're smellier than that. Oh my gosh.
Oh goodness.
They smell awful. And they're a nuisance.
Yeah.
I had a tenant come in yesterday and felt it was my responsibility to clear her unit of spiders.
Oh.
We're in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, no.
There's going to be spiders.
No,
did you show her where the broom was?
No, she wanted to know if it was okay for her to set a bomb And I told her I'd have to get back on that. Nobody's ever asked me that before.
Interesting. I can tell you because I used to have an outdoor patio area and we lived near a lake, so there was always spiders there as well. And we had a company that we like a bug company that came, and we were always complaining about the spiders. And he was like, buddy, see, spiders are gross. They don't clean themselves, and that's usually how they ingest the poison. The only way you kill a spider with a bug bomb is that the poison gets on the bug and the spider eats the bug before the bug dies, because they won't eat them when they're dead. That's the only way that a bug bomb helps with spiders. So really not a lot is the point. So she could probably set off a bug bomb, but it probably wouldn't be very effective because spiders don't clean themselves, apparently.
I was just flabbergasted. I didn't know what to say. I guess that would make her feel better to set one off, but you don't want to go in any other units and stuff. So
No.
That's
Just tell me about what you're doing for overall pest control.
Well, yeah, and she actually has a husband. So I said, why doesn't your husband get a broom? I don't know.
I don't know. Ladies, am I the only spider killer? Like, my husband is not the spider killer in our house. I have the man card on that one.
I'm happy to kill a spider. I'm happy to kill.
Why get off on a
Lizards,
spider?
no.
What did I miss here? I direct the conversation strangely to the spider.
You lost control.
Unintentionally.
Hey guys, I just so you know, I put in chat, do me a favor, just again, so we got 60 of us on. Hey, it's awesome. We got 60 of us on, so there's no way we're gonna be like, hey, tell us a little bit about yourself to every single person. But please put it in chat, and I put a little direction there. Just tell us, hey, what you do in storage, what's your day job here in storage. And if you want to share a website, cool, go right ahead. And then yeah, for kind of like topics, got a question, please put it in there. I'll keep my eye on the chat there. If you got a good win for the week, like I said, my win for the week is I unplugged and I'm playing down here for for a few days. Anything you want to share, so please go right ahead. What's that?
Oh, sorry, I forgot I was on audio.
Oh, hey,
I was yelling at my cat.
well, since you were on, thank you for, again, here's Eva Chavez, and I know we got Corey on somewhere. They were great. Did last week, had our marketing meetup. So those of you who attended, that was great. If not, it's always recorded on the YouTube playlist. I'll put that in the chat there as well. But yeah, went very well. So again, for any future topics, we kind of make these things. We don't need no quarters and months to plan stuff. Week to week. So any kind of topics or things you guys want us to hit, cool. Let us know. We can put stuff together fairly quickly because we got a lot of people that know what the crap they're doing in storage. So we can really put things together quickly. That's highly valuable, that we don't need months to plan. Tell you what's working right now and no fluff. That's kind of how all this works. I have one question here as I'm looking through this stuff. Not just on here, which is great. Again, we got 62 people. It's awesome. I've also noticed, like, for the state shows and things like that. Love vendors, it's awesome, but I would love to get more operators, owners on these kind of things. Guys that are, hey, we're in the trenches, especially us operators, of going through stuff. Just brainstorming out to the group here. Any thoughts on how to try to get some more people that are in it to come on these kind of things to share stories and learn, grow? That's why we're all here. Again, love the vendors, but I'd love to get some more operators and stuff on here as well. So
have you posted any of the Facebook pages for storage?
Yeah, on the Facebook groups, for sure. I mean, I've got my own group. There's the bigger groups that you post on and let them know about the meetups, that kind of thing. You get penetration, but still don't get a whole lot of people that see it and take action and follow through and actually come with these kind of things.
Okay.
Have
you thought about seeing if they would come on as a highlighted speaker, or just to say, this is what I'm doing in my operation? And or anything like that? And if you invite them as your special guest, they might be flattered enough to join.
No, and that's definitely the podcast route. Like when I was doing the podcast and stuff, that's definitely a good podcast route to do that for those kind of interviews.
Jim, I think it tends to be about the value you're bringing, like the topic itself that's being discussed, and really highlighting that for people, and then they can decide whether that topic is of interest and drives more participation.
I think Jim, I think if you can help them solve solutions or brainstorm together and give them feedback as an operator, that'd be great. So yeah.
So say it again. I missed that.
If they can help, like, bring questions, they can help, solve some of the pain points and stuff like that. Now it'll be more valuable, and then they can see that it'll come on. But the problem is sometimes they're working full time or something, and like for me, it's hard to come on this meeting because I'm usually very busy. I just came on today because I'm free today, but yeah, it's hard though. So
no, it's true. That's why I try to be always very forthcoming about that. Appreciate everyone jumping on, because yeah, it's an hour of your day, coming on these kind of things. So I want to make sure you guys getting value out of it. So please, any comments put in there for any future topics, things you want to do. And we can always, again, I try to keep these a little more free flowing, but we can definitely sprinkle in some more like the marketing ones, or more of like a workshop style type of a thing where we're really focusing on one certain pain point and hitting it from different directions on how to solve it, whether that come from your sales or your follow-up or your AI. Of course, everyone's talking about AI. We can talk about that all day long. All sorts of different things. So anyway, just something I wanted to throw out there. If something pops in your head, cool.
What are you good?
Yeah, Jim, this is Rich. One thing I was going to recommend maybe that you might consider is specific topics that are going to be covered on a particular day. So you may get more people that come to a meetup if they know their specific topics going to be discussed. I missed last week myself. And it was one I really wanted to see, so I did go back and watch the replay of it. So it may depend on the topics as to who might show up or not.
Jim, piggybacking on that one, I would say certainly want to get more subject matter experts invited to specific topics. I think that could stimulate a lot more conversation and insight from people who maybe haven't participated before. So that's always a good thing.
Gotcha. I may do that. I mean, it's maybe being an every Friday thing. I'll do a community style. We'll do a marketing one, do more of a focused like workshop style, then do the meetup. So yeah, maybe do something like that. Like I said, we're making this up as we go along, but hopefully that you're getting something out of it, because that's the whole point. I want feedback from everybody, because that's the whole point, is get some value out of it, what you guys are looking for, and bring it to you. So that's great. All right, and feel free if anyone's looking at through chat, look in there as well. Anything that's coming up.
Jim, I know that you posted a bunch about, I've seen different little videos here or there with the AI and everything like that. What are you doing currently with AI right now? Because that's a huge thing that I've dove into deeply over the past months, and then am utilizing it now on a day-to-day basis with conversational AI for all my properties and everything there too. I work directly with the company.
Cool. Yeah, I figured you'd be on doing that. You've always been heavy into tech and checking that out. What do you do? Again, you're the operator. This is great. What are you doing with for conversational AI? Just like for a chatbot then on your websites?
Yeah, so I actually they're a newer company, as most probably AI things are. And I go down, I think all of us go down the rabbit hole of, okay, I need to get AI. And last year I was just like, how do we cut out like for me personally, so don't take offense any vendors out there, call center. I had a call center used for 3.5 years before I stopped using them back in May. They're great, but always bringing on new people. And so then it's always like, even if you have a cheat sheet, you're feeling like you always have to keep answering the same questions over and over again as an operator, right? For people that don't know me, I own and operate 7 storage facilities on a day-to-day basis and have been doing that for years. And so they range, anywhere from 10,000 to 60,000 square feet, and I remotely manage every single thing. Right, we have maintenance techs, we have different systems. I'm a big believer in using automation and tech to solve all those problems instead of having on-site managers do everything. So call center was part of that piece. And then it was realizing AI is here, and we could do conversational AI and train conversational AI once and continue to train it and add more things into it. And it would be always giving the perfect responses because it's just drawing from the information. So I started to dive into that. And then it's, figure out, can I make this on make.com or N8N or something like that? End up coming across, and in my search of trying to switch to VAs and that kind of thing, a company who had just started, they were like a week into having created something like that. And this was months ago. So then I teamed up with them in the way of going, hey, I want to beta test. I want to do everything with it. So over the past few months, I've been doing that. And this week, I took all my facilities fully live for the conversational AI, and it's awesome. So initially, so what that is with the conversational AI, it takes every single one of my phone calls. So there's never a single missed phone call anymore. It's 100%. And what it does right now is it answers any base questions we have. There's a knowledge base you just fill out about all of my properties, and they all work together. Everything's branded the same. So if someone calls in from one facility, it can connect over and jump to that facility. It can answer all the questions that way. And then it's connected into API for my software. So a tenant calls in and they want their gate code. Cool. They can get their gate code by verifying their phone number that they're calling in from. So I don't have to take, gate code calls anymore. It just gives it to them. That's 24/7. Or or if they need a link for payment, it'll text them a link to log onto the website. Soon, in probably a few weeks, they'll make the payment actually with the phone call too, with the conversational AI. They're adding that feature in here soon, and everything's all PCI compliant and everything like that. So I'm excited for that one, which will drastically drop my call load, because I decided to take back on all the calls for all 7 facilities over the past few months and dive deep into finding the issues and pain points and taking that back away and seeing where the flaws were, since I hadn't done it for a little while. So that's heavily what I'm focused on with the conversational AI.
Fraser, I cannot wait. I want to hear everything about that, because you and I both know 80% of what you get are current tenant calls. And if you can, handle those through that system, 100% on board. But I do want to know about rentals. Like, listen, 80% of your calls are current tenants where you can do that. And even if it's not the best possible experience, as long as they get what they need, they're still happy. But when it's somebody who's thinking about renting, what is your thought on that?
An awesome example of that. So when I say that I just brought them all on this week, I've been testing it at one of my facilities on the version 1 for months. And so I've had the conversation going on, and then it'll transfer to live. Now they've got a new updated version. As with all software and tech, it'll always continue to update. So on your point there, eventually, so some of the next iterations and things that will come on will be the collections, where it will do outbound calls for anything you need it to, but collections specifically is what we need a lot of outbound calling for. So it'll do that, and it'll take the payment, and just like a VA or manager or whatever, will do that, as well as the rental flow. It will rent out units in its entirety from start to finish, just like you do as a manager or any of your employees or anything like that. Right now, in the initial stage that it's in, it pass on those things that it's not set up to do yet to your staff. So it can either, depending on the way of the conversation and what the person requests, it'll send a notification for either a callback or just do a live transfer. And so if someone's like, hey, I'm interested in renting a unit, they're like, great. Let me get you over to a team member that can do that. So that the nice thing about it is that no call is ever missed. And the frustrating thing about having calls that are missed is you don't know if it's a lead call, and you don't know if it's just someone calling from a different phone number. So with this, it records everything right away, right? The AI is going, hi, thank you for calling Titan Self Storage. This is Ava. The call may be recorded. How can I help you? Right? Simple, short. And then the person starts talking. So even if they don't ever get transferred on, I still have that recording that I can review on my dashboard, and I can get a feel for if they just decide not to phone. So now you have that is captured, right? And then so back to the real life example of that happening is something that's not in my knowledge base at all. Somebody wanted to store a shed on my property. And the AI said, oh, okay, so is this already built? And, or are you looking to just store materials? Said, oh, it's already built. He goes, oh, okay, yeah, we have outdoor parking and we allow that. You could store that on the thing. Okay, great. Let me transfer you over to somebody helping. Great. And then the call transferred to me and I took it live and was like, yeah, we can do that. So it's intuitive in the way that I don't know if you've ever talked to, Chat GPT or whatever, just like you can have a real conversation. It's very, very much real. You're talking to a thing and it can pull in intuitively information. There's nothing in my stuff about sheds and storing, but it knows that, yeah, we can do things like that. And so it's helping
That's
keep
my
those leads
fear,
warm
Fraser,
already.
is that it made that answer up. It didn't know, it wasn't pulling from you. And if your answer was no, it already told somebody yes on your behalf, right? So is there a default to
kind
I
of.
don't know function? Like, don't make anything up. Just send them to a person if
Well,
you don't know.
right, exactly. A lot of information, if it doesn't fully know something, it will change it. It's not making things up in a negative way, right? So we allow pods. So my guess is because we allow pods, it took kind of that information in a smart way of going, yeah, we can do that. That would probably be similar to a pod. Yeah, you could store it on the thing, whatever, right?
Mhm.
And so no harm done. So that to me, that was a positive one, right?
Mm.
And then
Yeah, I
of
mean,
course all
it's
the ones
positive
that
because your answer was yes. You'd be telling this story in a very different way if somebody showed up at your facility with a fully built shed and you were telling them no, and now you've got a 1-star review and they told me on the phone I could do it and now I can't. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been a very different thing. I'm learning, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not challenging. I am so excited about this AI thing. I can't even tell you.
Those
So
things are all trainable. I just
Yeah.
and very quickly trainable. Like
I'll step in here. Look, these AIs, they hallucinate. It's absolutely true, right? And obviously, if just like driverless cars, driverless cars can kill people. And so a lot of it is on the training, and then you get to decide, based on the training when you're comfortable using it. And if it's a well-constructed AI, it will know what questions to answer and when to ask for follow-up questions. It will never be 100% though. And so you just kind of have to be comfortable seeing enough of it in a sandbox environment that you feel comfortable that more often than not, it's going to do as well as a human will do.
love it.
And what's that called?
there's
Conversational
always that
AI?
middle ground where you're going, you have what is a static or a dynamic, right? And static conversational AI would be those things that you'll see out there where they just answer only the specific answers to the specific questions that you have in a knowledge base of any sort. This goes for any type of things. But when you get in more dynamic is when you get more of that conversational AI, right? So static would be like IVR. Press 1 for this. Oh, do you want to do this? Yes, we can do this, da 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 da. Or a chat bot. Most of those are static. They're really not conversational. I've looked at those types of things and they just aren't. You can't have a conversation like that unless you get in the conversation AI. So you like you said, there is training stuff. If you've ever used ChatGPT, sometimes you'll notice that maybe it's a little off and you've got to double check things. The nice thing with the storage is that there's only so far out of the bounds that questions are going to be asked. And then if there is like a weird question or a nuance thing, you can add that into your knowledge base and go, here's the answer for this random question that's going to be asked once a year, every 2 years. And then it solves the problem, right? So it goes back to I would say that humans are highly conversational, right? And highly dynamic and can do anything and also are flowing with emotions, right? So you go, would you rather train an AI and then tweak things and something that isn't going to get offended and continue to add that? And you're going to have this forever and it's very low cost. Or do you want to keep training humans over and over again? And that's kind of where the pain point was, where it's like, these questions are there on the cheat sheet. Why am I answering any of these for these new people? They should know to just go here, right? And so there was some of the issues I had with that. Great people, great. I don't really have negative to speak because it was awesome. But man, I'm loving using the conversational IB, even just in the state that it is in right now. And I work closely with all the founders and owners and everything like that, working there and feedback and data and listening to every call and yeah.
One hack for people is if you record your conversations. Some do, some don't. But if you record those conversations and can get from the vendor the transcript, that will reduce by a factor of 5 to 10 the likelihood that the agent will screw up, because that becomes training data. So if you have 2 or 3 years of training data, that can be fed, and that will create the edge cases that will help you kind of lower the hallucination rate. Because basically, you're literally putting into the brain of the AI every single conversation that happened over the last couple of years, and it can kind of see where it went wrong and things like that. Because a lot of times the AI screws up because it doesn't understand the acronyms or the abbreviations, or like a half of a phrase that right. And so that's another hack. If you guys have that, that can help you.
Hey, Fraser, what's the name of that AI thing you're using?
So Patchwork Labs is the company.
Patchwork Labs, is it?
Yeah, I can put their website in there too.
Okay.
And you can do demo calls on their website if you want.
Because I took back all my rental calls myself. I'm trying to figure out a way to help me automate that process.
Fraser, I have a question.
Okay.
I do apologize, Jim, that I don't have my screen on. My laptop is acting screwy.
You're all good.
So, Fraser, is this something that you can use where it's part-time, where it works like from, let's say, from 5 p.m. to 7 a.m., or if you wanted to take a week and not answer the phone and let somebody else take care of answering the phone?
The answer to that would be, I would say yes. And the reason why is because every single one of my facilities has their own phone number. And so this will determine on how your phones are set up. Every single one of my facilities has their own phone number, and I host that on Ring Central. So then I have what I do is, or sorry, with Patchwork Labs, every single facility has its own AI phone number. And so all I'm doing is forwarding all my calls to the conversational AI. So if you wanted to, you could set up to have your calls only forwarded at the nighttime, from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. or something like that, if you want hours, to the conversational AI. And then afterwards, it's not going to forward them to anymore. So you can 100% control the schedule you want, weekends or anything, depending on how your phones are set up. Or if you just have a regular landline, maybe it's just you're forwarding the calls after you leave the office that day, or whatever you want to do, or when you're on vacation. So yeah, you would have 100% control of it. I choose to do 24/7 calls there because I want tenants that are wanting their gate code and all those sorts of things to have access to that 24/7. So that's how I
say the name one more time, Fraser.
Patchwork Labs, and I'm going to put it in the chat here. Here's the website. So I'm not directly affiliated, like I'm not an owner of the company, but I work with them in that way, and I do make money with referring. So just putting that out transparently, that's how I'm compensating that way. But I think it's a fantastic product, which is why I went around this thing and going about it, because I wanted to create something myself.
Again, depending upon the phone system, you can also do overflow traffic there. We have a few clients that are, when the phone calls are on hold for a certain amount of time or go unanswered, they get forwarded automatically to the AI. So in addition to your after hours answering, you can use your phone service technology or call service provider to forward based on a rule set. I did put a link also to an alternative technology partner. I just did a presentation on this at the Upper Midwest conference earlier this week. And there's a demo, a 6-minute demo video if anyone wants to look at that. If you're just interested in what the technology can actually do, I can attest to it. It's come far in the last 6 months where it can actually process reservations directly into the software. Rentals are the next step. I think it's going to be completed sometime in the next month or so, at least for that provider. The other exciting part of this is outbound is a part that's going to eventually happen here, where you have reservations come in. Maybe your managers aren't prompt enough in following up on those reservations, which affects the closure rate of those reservations. AI can do outbound calls and handle it the same way it would an inbound caller in terms of converting those reservations into rentals. So this technology is going to be used in a lot of ways. I also personally believe it's going to affect how users navigate your websites in the near future. Search functionality as it exists today is not very robust or good. The AI can learn your site and it can navigate a consumer to exactly what they're looking for just by talking directly to the website through your mobile device. So there's so many ways this voice AI agent technology is going to be leveraged in the next 6 months that it's a little mind blowing.
So I actually got,
I agree with you 100% there.
Yeah, I do actually got a question because, you know, I was approached by, say, Parcel AI, who's developing the same thing. And, you know, when I heard what they have developed so far, you can still really, really tell, you know, it's the break in the voice, that 2 second or that second pause. The question is from those who are using it, what is the customer feedback on it? Do you guys getting complaints, or kind of what is, you know, the customer side look like?
That's a good question. So customers are a little bit, they're funny. There's a couple things. Is one, the biggest part is customers love being able to have information right then and there, right? If they can have it super fast. So the customer experience definitely increases and improves when they just need their gate code. Man, they don't want to freaking wait for somebody, right? And there's been some delays on my part as an owner operator when I'm trying to take all the phone calls, especially when you're trying to do payments and everything. And so there's delays. Call center, that makes a little bit better, but it's still not 100% answer rate. So those types of things are helpful. Now you get some people that there is a bit of a training with your customers. Like, that's not to say there's no a little bit of a downside. Some customers will get frustrated because they don't understand that they can transfer still to a live person. Even though I've sent out an email, you know, a letter, here you go. Hey, we're utilizing this now. This is how it's going to help you as customers. So I think there's a little bit of training with it, but I don't think it's anything different than when I spoke to Jim Ross years ago, actually. So I'll shout out and credit to him to this one. I stood there at ISS in Vegas and he goes, yeah, we don't use cash and check anymore. I go, so how did that affect your tenants? You know, because I got these, you know, you got people from all sorts of age groups, but generally the boomer generation, that's checks, money order. I want to give you cash. I want to come talk to you in person and waste your whole day. And so I go, how did that affect? He goes, really, we didn't have a loss of tenants at all. And so it's a retraining thing. So I go, okay, maybe I'll do that in a couple months. And then just like within a month, I just prepared it, sent it all out, and I shot it out there. And I didn't really have any issues. You have a couple of those tenants there that are just like, they don't like that, right? Some tenants just don't like it. Some tenants aren't going to like the AI. There's some negative connotation around that. They don't like to talk to robots. They just don't like it, but there's not a problem. Some of them can't even tell the difference, that it's not even human. Actually, I have people say, oh, I didn't even realize I was talking conversational AI because it flows so well. So yeah, you're going to have a little bit of probably negative with any automation in tech that you do. I don't allow checks and cash. I don't like that. I just want to talk and do this, blah, blah, blah. But they just get used to it. And especially I'm a true believer. I think when customers realize that they are going to get a faster answer to their stuff and they want to talk on the phone about it, gate codes, payment, everything, a lot of them are pretty excited when I tell them, yeah, you know what? You're going to be able to do 24/7 payments here soon, and you'll be able to talk to the conversational AI. And so I think it's just conversation with them at first, and they all understand it. They get it. I say they all as a general. I haven't talked to every single tenant, but so far, I think more positive, and it's good than not, even if the tenants don't fully understand all the positive there yet. So that's my 2 cents.
That's great. I think we stumbled upon our ongoing topics we're going to start doing. And it's going to be this month in AI. We'll just do updates on what's going on, because I think it'd be beneficial. Just tell me if I'm alone in this, but yeah, we're cool. We're talking about AI and what it's doing. I would much rather just be like, hey guys, we're just going to demo it and do the calls and do the whole flow so you guys can hear it and see it in action, and not just talk about it. I think that will help a lot with understanding some people kind of getting over the fear of using it, that kind of thing. So that's going to be the plan. In fact, I made my notes. It's done. I want to do more of a demo type of a session. I think that'd be helpful.
Good. Yeah, because do AI agent mode and see if you can rent a unit on your website.
It's eye-opening. I'm amazed at how many websites you cannot do that on, and they're on major player platforms.
AI agent mode, like, is this on ChatGPT or something?
Yeah,
Or
and you can do it also in Gemini, but basically it's where you tell it to go do something for you. Hey, go book me a reservation at this restaurant. Go try to rent a unit.
And why can't
it's
it,
eye-opening. I'm sorry?
Why can't it do it?
Some websites don't have the backbone to actually do it. And if you're using a WordPress website, good luck to you because it's blocked. So just there's a lot of stuff where it's interesting. I've tested it on major platforms and it's really eye-opening who is and is not working.
But I'm wondering if we're using it here within our industry, would we be instructing it to actually go to the website to do a rental, or would it be actually integrated with your software management system?
No, it goes to the website to do it for you.
It does do it on the website. Okay.
Yep.
In my head, everything was behind the scenes going.
No, and it's interesting because it actually shows you the entire process. You can watch it as it works. So it'll bring up the browser, it'll do the search, it'll bring up the website. It tells you what its thought process is it going through the steps, and then it gets to the point where it needs your information and you take over, right? It can't fully book it for you, but it gets you to the point where it's like, okay, I need your credit card information, or I need this, and it brings you to that screen. But it goes through the whole process. You can watch it. It's really, really eye-opening. I had one platform, it does it in 1 minute, which is amazing. Search to getting to the rental page in 1 minute. Most of them, it won't get there, or if it does, it takes forever. Forever. So it was eye-opening.
Yeah, I use that
really
to
cool.
I use to scrape the competitors within 5 miles, the rental rates, and then pulls my Excel data and puts it in an Excel format.
Yep.
Interesting. Dave, can you comment on specifically, because we were talking about transcriptions and I saw Stacy's response on that. I find like we have an AI that's transcribing voicemail messages. I got to be honest, I don't love that transcription. I just don't think it's doing that great of a job, and everything tells me that it is like if the person speaks really quickly, or if they're using acronyms, or if they have a heavy accent, whether that is strong Southern, strong, just a strong accent of any kind, it struggles. How does your voice recognition work with that?
Well, I mean, there are, so if somebody is speaking fast or with an accent, the technology that converts it to text, that's kind of commoditized and it can only do so much. But in terms of inferring based on the written transcript, different AIs do it differently. I often will take my Fathom and I won't use it. I actually take it directly to a product with OpenAI that's specifically tuned to summarize transcripts well. So I guess to answer your question, most of the models that convert voice to text are the same. They rely on the same foundational models.
Okay.
The art is at the application layer of inferring the intent and organizing the content thoughtfully. And that's what you're paying for when you get an AI to do a good job for you. So it's not going to do a perfect job, but if a topic is on storage and then within storage sales, an AI will know things to look for and ways to organize that's useful to an owner operator. And so that's kind of how it works. I don't know if that answered your question, but
yeah, honestly, I'm in sponge mode right now, so I'm absolutely soaking in everything you have to say about that.
Well, I think what Fraser said is absolutely true, and I know it's hard to believe, but these millennials, they trust the AI, and in a couple of years, they're going to have a personal agent that's going to be doing the searching for them. It's still a year or two away, but that world is coming. I mean, we're already seeing it with SEO and SEM, right? Is that people are using ChatGPT to find storage places that have temperature control in their zip code. And you can't SEO, doesn't matter how much you throw Google AdWords.
Right.
They're using a different way to find the information. But we have time. I mean, this is not going to happen overnight. And what I could share with people is just try things out. Do it experimental. Do it in a way where you're not taking on liability, and eventually you'll make some progress, just like Fraser has.
I love it. And Dave, is your product, is it chat only, or is yours?
No, it's
conversational
chat and voice.
Okay.
I think Patchwork's maybe a little bit ahead of us on a couple things, but we're doing both because we think, just like in the real world, somebody will call you, but then they'll text you, but then they'll hit you up on the website. So we believe that all of those conversations need to be connected, and there needs to be memory of the conversation with authentication. And then to the point that I think one person talked about, how do you do collections? Like that's a complicated workflow, right? I mean, you have to hit 3 or 4 systems over time. You got to remind somebody they didn't pay, what you're going to do if they don't. That can also eventually be programmed as an agent that can hit different systems at different times with memory, doing a task that an owner operator doesn't like doing.
Automate all of that, the collection thing, just through my management. Text and email out when certain timeframes, and then we have the texts and emails set up automatically through it. Call Potential kind of does something similar. And then Tenant Inc., they came out with that text and email thing, and I've been doing that for a while. And so connecting that all into my whole lean process, that automates a lot. And the thing I'll say with like conversational AI, so setting that aside and just kind of going back to voice, it is so much easier to be hands-free and searching for things. If you haven't ever spent time sitting in a car ride and talking to ChatGPT and conversing back and forth, Jim Ross is a good example of showing some videos out there. I do the same thing. You sit in a car and you just brainstorm with it. If you don't think that's easier, or talking on the phone, hands-free and everything, and not having to search, it is. And so it's that same thing. How do we become, I'm very proponent of figuring out how do we become very searchable by voice, right? That's almost even more important than, and will be, I think, than being on Google and searching. So figuring out voice, how do you be voice searchable with market? I think a good way to start this out, kind of like I can't remember what you were saying before. There was another person on here and she was talking about, just see, like, if you're the agent can rent a unit for you. Well, just see on Siri or Google Voice or whatever those things out there and go, what's the best storage facility in Centralia, Washington, or wherever your location is, and see if your stuff is pulling and ranking everything. So much stuff is done by voice now. And so so many people are searching by voice or one thing. Hey Siri, do this, da 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 da. Right? This isn't a new concept, but the voice, I think, has become even bigger and more vocal. And so I think you have that, and then you're also doing everything by phone. If I can make, press a phone, hey, can you call this for me and rent a storage unit, and then everything's done through conversation like AI. And the only thing I got to do as a human is maybe read my card number, unless that's connecting your phone. You can do that somehow. Your life becomes very easy and on the move, and you can do so many more things as a consumer. I can do this in the grocery store, wherever. So
yeah, I think that's a great point. We've been talking
Corey,
so much
thank you.
about, but yes, conversational search, right? Search has become conversational. It's no longer storage in whatever city. That's out the window, right? You have to do things that are very conversational, long tail, all of those things that we've been preaching for a long time on the SEO side of, like, we need to be marketing towards people, not search engines. And now search engines are more like people. And so just making sure that everything that you're doing is conversational. Think about that when you're implementing things on your website, like the conversations that you're having right now, Fraser, with your customers, or your AI is having. Implement that on the website too, right? If you can start addressing some of those pain points in your FAQs, and they can find that information in other ways, and they don't have to even pick up the phone, and they can go through those AI agents, it's a huge game changer. So I heard a great talk this week. Their key takeaway when Google did their I/O was search is really the agentization of search, right? They really want to not be the search engine. They want to be the one actually doing all the transactions. So just kind of think of that as you're going through and doing your research and playing with those tools, and think about how it's all being used, because once you start doing that, it's really eye-opening.
All right. I'm making notes. Yeah, I love when I don't have to talk. I just write notes and listen to you guys talk. This is awesome. This is what we're gonna do. I think I want to do some more, like I said, more demos in depth on a certain AI thing rather than a shotgun approach and being all over the place with AI because it's a lot. I mean, it overwhelms me, and I love this every single day. I live, eat, and breathe it, but it's a lot. I think we should do one use case, talk about it, go through it. Cool. See you next time. I think it'd be easier to digest. Either put in chat or just speak up. I'm just writing some items to kind of go through when it comes to AI to demo. So kind of what I have here is calls, of course. So inbound calls, testing some of those things out, demoing those, what it's like. Someone mentioned about doing the competition pricing analysis and how that works. Can demo that. Of course, making videos, photos for your website, for your Google business profiles, that kind of stuff, utilizing AI. Collections might be a little bit early on that, but can kind of touch on that when it comes to collections. Obviously, AI search, how you're going to be showing up on the AI, not even engines, but just the chat bots now. How you're showing up for storage near me kind of a thing, how you're showing up on ChatGPT and Google Gemini and Perplexity and everything else. What am I missing? Anything else you want to?
Christy asked a question about using it or posted about don't forget about using it in security. So I'm curious what you're doing with that, Christy.
I guess I need to unmute if I want to talk to you guys. IT Chick can't use Zoom today. So we are actually implementing a new system where we are using license plate readers, facial recognition, things like that. We are putting it right now. We're in construction, so we are putting it into our new build, and we have a second construction facility coming on board next year. We're planning on putting it there too. We are also talking about swapping out all our DVRs for the NVRs that have the AI power. So that way, if we decide that someone is banned from our facilities, we will get a notification across all of our facilities when this person shows up on our properties, no matter what property they go to. Also, with the license plate readers, I've had so many issues with the quality of our cameras whenever we are doing, police investigations that they're just not legible. So with the new, this new system that we're implementing, it is so phenomenal, the quality on these, even at night, that I get every license plate number that comes through my facility. So, and I really look at it from a marketing perspective as well, because not only are we doing this for the protection of our current tenants, but I feel like I'm going to market these security upgrades to new tenants. So that way they feel more secure whenever they store with us. So you might not think security is really a marketing subject, but I really think it is, because, I want everybody to know that we are using all, top of the line systems to keep their valuables secure. And I feel like whenever they see that, they're going to choose us over the guy across the street because we have all these systems in place.
Like you mentioned swapping out your DVR for something else, and I didn't catch what you said that you were swapping to.
NVR. I know I'm
that?
country. I know I'm Southern, and
No, well, I think it's just I don't know what that means.
It is it's a step up from a DVR. So we are, and I can send you some information about this, Shannon. I was actually looking up the last time that we actually chatted in email, and it's been quite a while.
Yeah.
So I can send you over some information, and I can prepare some information for next week's chat if you guys want. I'm not getting any money out of this. This is not anything that I'm selling myself, but I absolutely love the system just because I can search it for, I used the example earlier with a man in a red shirt. So it'll pull up every event that my cameras have caught on all of my locations for a man in a red shirt. So if the police call me and say, hey, we're looking for a man in a red shirt, I can pull it up and say, okay, here's his picture. It's pretty amazing. So yeah, the NVR is just a replacement for the DVR that is, it's AI capable.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for letting me dive deep onto that. I feel like this was my personal training session today from Fraser.
I mean, I'm excited about the AI, the conversational AI. In the South, we're gonna have a hard time with this because of the accents, but because further south you go, the deeper those accents gets. But we're just we're on the brink of something here. And even though our owner will never, I say this, and he may decide tomorrow to do it, I don't think he will ever totally go remote. Part of our marketing strategy is that you deal with a human every time. And in the world of AI, I think some people are going to appreciate that. But I also feel like our humans can use AI as an assistant to take care of all these mundane tasks so that they can concentrate on more things that they can get done in their day. So there's, two sides to that. Yes, I love the remote aspect of things. I work remotely, so it goes along with what I do every day. But I also love the human touch. But I think that AI is going to have a big role for us just as that assistant.
Yeah, because I think the point is you need a personal touch for people who require a personal touch. But I think fewer and fewer people, the longer we go, are going to require a personal touch. And having I call it cheap and cheerful method to handle as many requests as possible without a person having to be involved just makes sense. Like, it just makes sense.
Yeah, and automating those mundane tasks. I'm sorry, Fraser, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Automating those mundane tasks that we have to do every day is going to free us up to be able to do so much more. And I don't think that we are, the personal touch is not needed every day, everywhere, but when it's needed, it's needed.
Right.
So I still like having a human on property. So when things happen, we can go out and take care of it right then. But I also have some remote properties we call annexes that a manager takes care of multiple properties. So if something happens, they can run right over. They're there in 5 minutes. So, we kind of have a hodgepodge of, the way that we're managing our facilities, but it always starts with that human touch.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, got 5 minutes left, guys. So just let you know we got 5 minutes for this. At the top of the hour, we got Shannon from XPS. It's going to do a little, we call it backstage pass, vendor spotlight, whatever we're calling it, about XPS. So you can stay after for 15 minutes and hear all about XPS as well. I want to just real quick, I want to blow past this. I saw a comment from Dave. I'm going to pick on you again, Dave Peak, just because it's important. What you put in chat about the FAQ.
Yeah, sure.
So often when I'm doing like Google business profile optimization sessions for people, that's the one thing I see, like, the Q&As, and I look at their website because I'm like, oh, we'll just copy the FAQ onto your Q&A and your business profile.
So, yep. So in the old world, the way people would find a location specific business like a self-storage operator is they type in some keywords, right? And you bid on those keywords within your catchment area. Right now, it's estimated that only works around 50% of the time. So if you're spending all this money on keywords, it still works, but only works half as well. And so the search economy is now becoming, the search engines are now becoming answer engines. I think others just talked about that. So what do you do? So the way the ChatGPT makes decisions is based on content, and it has an unlimited capacity to read every single word on the public web. And so the only way you can really influence that today in the near term is having more words. It's that simple. And so put a lot of content out there about what you do, how you do it, why you do it. It will never get read by a human, but it will get read by an agent. And then as well, the more you post on blogs, on Reddits, that's all public information that the AI sees. And so it's It's just a way to kind of be more likely to be found by the agents. So in short, the agents look for information differently than the search engine. This is that simple. And so it's just a super simple thing to do. Just create more content about what you do. But you don't like the reason why I think FAQs are better than just creating lots of articles is you can get tempted to make articles that are kind of fluffy, and that's not going to the AI is going to see through that. So it's better if it's something genuine like an FAQ.
Gotcha.
Can I piggyback just real quick on that?
Sure.
Press your website provider to actually use the appropriate schema so that the FAQs that you're putting out there are actually readable by AI, because there are so many platforms out there right now that are not doing that. And it's really frustrating because they're not hearing us. Put the pressure on them to push them to get that schema implemented, because it's going to just really help you.
Yep.
What is it that AI cannot read on a website, can or cannot read? Like, can you expand on that for a sec?
So schema is basically the back-end structure of how the websites and the AI agents are reading your data. So there's schema out there for FAQ pages, and it knows this is a question, this is an answer. And it's able to parse that data much more quickly. So if you've got the schema implemented and another website doesn't, they're going to lean on your answers because it's easier for it to parse and understand and get you the answer more quickly.
Schema has been an SEO tactic for many years, and it's there's more and more have developed over the years. There's over 100 types now, and so you have pricing schema, which labels your pricing as pricing, so the search engine can interpret it. AI interprets the same way. FAQ schema, product schema. Yeah, so there's lots of different types of schema, but it's basically labeling content on your website in a way that the search engine and the AI can better interpret it. And 100% right, Corey's right, that AI it's one of the few things we have learned about their algorithm is that schema is an integral to the AI interpreting what you're all about.
Yeah, and I think unfortunately in our industry, a lot of the big players have ignored schema for a long time because it wasn't as important as it at one point in time, everybody decided it wasn't important. And now all of a sudden it is again. And so, yes, I would love to see a lot of the major players actually implement what they should have been doing all along.
Yeah, I wanted to say that earlier, but good luck. There's some providers out there that they have custom CMSs that just are not built currently to accommodate the various forms of schema. They are very limited in that regard. So definitely a question you want to ask and try to push them in that direction. But unfortunately, a lot of them don't actually offer it today.
Yep.
Only ones out there that are good, that do that you know of?
I've been testing Cubby, and they are the ones that blow me away as far as the amount of schema that's enabled, and the AI agent mode where I told you it took a minute, it was on a Cubby website.
That is like worth the price of admission, I think, on this entire conversation, is because that's a question I don't think many people would have ever even thought to ask, Corey.
Yeah.
So 100%, that's what these groups are so good for. So going to your question earlier, Jim, about how do we get more people on here? It's just a matter of seeing that. I mean, that's a huge value. That was a big takeaway, you guys. Fraser, Dave, Christy, Corey, like, thank you for coming on here and just educating all of us. I can't be the only one who had a key. Like, I have pages of notes that I've just written.
I got all my notes. And the price of admission was free, so yeah, you better get.
That's what I'm saying. It's worth it at twice the price, Jim. Great job.
$10. Where was I?
I already got it written down, so that means it's going to happen. We're going to do this month in AI. There's a new recurring session that's going to happen. Anyone wants to reach out, I would love operators who are actually doing it to come on, and we'll go through it. Some spotlights. So reach out to me. We'll schedule it. We'll figure it out. But anyone that's interested in doing that, cool. Reach out to me. Let me know. Fraser pretty much did like an impromptu one today. So thank you for prepping that off, Fraser. That was awesome, man. Two things. First, if you're on here, turn your camera on because we have to do the selfie. So do that. And then again, hang out 15 minutes. We got Shannon from XPS talking about their service. So if you're ready on the count of 3, we have to do this a few times because I got like 3 screens because we got people jumping on today. It's awesome. So give me a second. All right, first one, ready? Smile pretty. 1, 2, 3. All right, one more here. Da-da. Camera's on. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let me
Christy got her camera on, and oh my goodness, she has a Hello Kitty headset. Are you kidding me right now?
I won this on Google Play playing my video game on my phone. So I was actually my husband won it, but it came to me because he was like, I am so not wearing a Hello Kitty headset. And I said, that is me. It is mine.
All right.
We thought about giving it to a grandkid at first, but we can't afford to buy them for all the grandkids, so we can't show favoritism.
All right.
So
Next
funny.
15 minutes, Shannon. Show is yours. Go right
I
ahead.
love it. Can I share my screen? Do you have me set up to be able to do that? Fantastic. Let me just grab a screen. So listen, I just wanted to be here to answer any questions anybody has. And I think today is a perfect time because we just got done talking about a lot of, AI portion, which I'm absolutely fascinated with. And make no mistake, we will be doing some of that because I'm 100% on board with you only need a person when you need a person, right? So let's talk about both of those. But I did want to make sure of what everybody knows that we have for today, which is specifically call center services, live people. Of course, we have used 24/7 automated stuff through the IVR for years and years, which is, the forerunner to what they're doing with the voice stuff for AI. But all the way up through remote managers, doing rentals over the phone as well. And every day I have conversations with owners who are like, oh, but they can just rent online. And I'm like, oh, but they didn't, they called right there. And so it's a terrible experience if someone picks up the phone, calls you and says, I would like to rent. And you say, great, go online. Okay. You and I both know they just got your phone number off the website. They didn't rent online on purpose. So now if you tell them to turn around and go do that, I'm just saying be available in the way that they want you to be available. I anticipate the longer we go, the fewer number of phone calls there are going to be in general. And we'll move to other methods. There will be more live video stuff. I think there will be more AI is just going to be doing it for people. Like they're going to be what Fraser was talking about, driving down the road saying, AI, go find me the best priced location for a 10 by 10 that can hold this much stuff, climate control within 5 miles of my house, and pay for it with the credit card on file. Like they're going to be able to do that. And by golly, let's get ready. But in the meantime, we have services that are available for that. And I wanted to specifically call attention to the My Store Pal mobile app. This app it's another automated tool designed for your tenants so that they don't have to call you in the first place. Like we talked about, even with the AI, most people, they just want to have an answer to their question. They don't really care how it gets there. The faster, the better is their feedback. So My Store Pal is an app you offer to your tenants for free, and they can check their unit, like find their unit number or their gate code. Because you guys, we take a lot of phone calls for that. So we give them a way to find that information, make a payment, set up auto pay. It's in production, or it's in development now for them to be able to actually interact with your software to change their address if they want to from the app. Since it is a two-factor authentication process, they can do things like that. So that's a high level overview of all of the different things, and wanted to make sure that if you guys have any questions or comments, or if you've used us in the past. I know Christy, her company is a current client of ours. Pamela, your name is really, really familiar to me, but I'm not sure why. Is it just because I see you here, or are you a client as well?
Probably because you just see me every other Friday. Hey, what's your contact info, Shannon?
Yes, ma'am. So can you, is my screen sharing right now?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
no, it's your camera. It's not your screen sharing. It's your, just you.
It's just me. Oh, I thought
Yeah.
sharing the screen. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Let me
No, I
try
just
that
shared
one
the
more time. Try this one. Is that better?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, but are you seeing the Okay, fantastic. So that is for our sales team, Christy. If you, or I'm sorry, Pamela, if you'd like mine personally, hold tight for me and I can put it in the, what do you call that thing where you type things? You know, the thing where you put the things.
The thing you put the thing in. Gotcha.
Yeah, the thing where you put the things. Hang on, chat. Thank you, Sherry. My goodness. She's been braining for me behind the scenes for 15 years. I see no reason for that to stop now. Any questions for me, you guys?
I want to hear about the live video agent. I just see that right.
Yeah. So we actually partner, you know, everything that we do at this time is about having that live person when you need the live person. So we partner with KISS. So if you have KISS technology with their kiosks, and also with Live Switch and soon with remote RMS. It's a group out of Tyler, Texas. I don't know if you guys know Adam Wagner. So they're working on a live video portion as well. But essentially, we've got agents who are here. They're physically located in our Richardson, Texas office, and they are set up and ready for inbound live video requests from people. So when that pops up, it's because somebody physically walked into an office and KISS picked that up, or because maybe there was a QR code for people to scan that said, hey, if you're moving out today, scan this QR code, have a conversation with our person. We can walk them through their move out portion, have them actually show on their video their empty unit with the unit number so that we can take that screenshot and attach it as a, hey, we show that they've moved out. We pair that with our remote managers so that the remote manager could then attach that to their tenant account, clear that unit, make sure they get a zero balance on their account, do whatever they need to do, and then have the unit put back into inventory for sales again. Like everything else, it is 80-20. You can kind of expect that every time somebody reaches out, the 80-20 rule definitely applies, where 80% of the time it's not a sales opportunity. If it is, in the case of KISS, let's say where it's a front door situation, it is closer to 20, but on the inside the building, right, it's almost 100%. You're going to find that it's existing tenants, but still just a great technology. And I think especially with our younger generation, they've grown up on FaceTime. Right? They've grown up on Zoom, they've grown up on Teams, and being on a camera like this is natural to them. It's just completely normal in the way that boomers used to pick up the phone, Gen Xers emailed, millennials texted, and Gen Z is going to be show me your face, right? I don't have enough of a connection with people unless I can see you. So I am about, if you don't always need a live person. I'm the first to say that, but when you do, you do. And you want to be available to people in all the different ways that they need.
Perfect. Any other questions? All right.
I love it.
Good. That's perfect.
All right. I mean, if anybody wants a deep dive on any of those individual, Jamie, hi, I just saw your face. Oh my goodness, I love him. Anybody has any questions? Like if you want an individual deep dive on what does it look like when you do a rental, I'm absolutely happy to do that one-on-one with you guys. And of course, you know, I've got time blocked out for the next half hour to sit here with everybody and answer any question you have. But if doing it in front of everybody is not your jam, I put my email address in the chat. Thank you, Sherry Miller. And if you would like a full-blown presentation, Pamela, that if you go to the website, there's a little link that's going to say contact us. If you put that on there, they'll be in touch with you today to go over just everything in all sorts of detail. But you're welcome to call me as well. I think, you know, anybody who's been around here for a long time knows I'm not in sales. But I am here to solve problems. And I think probably if any salesperson would tell you that they're problem solvers, right? They're figuring out what you need and then they're going to help you find it. But I am operations to the core. So I can't claim salesperson. You guys know that.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you for doing that.
My
Jump.
pleasure.
Let me change this real quick. Where are you at? Take your sharing off here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know how to unshare. I'm trying.
I got it.
Okay.
I got the power. All right, cool. Well, thanks everybody for doing this. This was great. I think I got a lot out of it personally. I got a lot of notes. I'm gonna start focusing on some stuff here. So hope you guys got some value out of it. Thanks for carving out the time and being here. I really appreciate it. And
Hey, Jim, I got a
got
quick
some
question for you.
Yeah, sure.
Did I miss something?
Maybe.
Where's Jim Mooney?
He's traveling.
Okay.
So yeah, he wasn't able to be on here. Oh, I kicked him out. No, he's traveling somewhere. Yeah,
Do you think
wasn't able.
Is he in Anchorage?
He didn't mention where he was. I don't know.
Oh, I just mean Snoopy.
That's always where in the world is Jim Mooney. He's always traveling. He's always
That's
traveling.
true.
I have no idea. But yeah, he's busy. All right. Well, great. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
I'm gonna go play in Sedona heat here. All right. Take care.
Thank
All right,
you.
bye.
Have fun.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Don't fall or slip
Good to
anymore.
see you, Jamie.
Thanks, everyone. Nice to meet you.
I can move it. Hey, good.
You got it. Got the mobility back. All right. Have fun.
Take care,
See you.
guys.
Good job, Shannon. And
Thank
happy
you.
late birthday.
Aw,
I was so
love.
proud of you. I loved your TSSA post.